This is the all-new 2025 Mclaren GTS, and here's why it's way better than you think. Under the hood is a 4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 derived from the Mclaren 720S. In this application, it makes 626 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. That's up 14 horsepower from the Mclaren GT to the GTS. That means 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds, 0 to 124 miles an hour in 8.9, and a top speed of 203 miles an hour. All of the power is sent to the rear wheels through a 7-speed DCT. We have a revised front fascia that's more aggressive with larger air intakes, a new bespoke turbine-style wheel. The roof is now made from recycled carbon fiber to shave 22 pounds off the curb weight. We also have much more aggressive intakes at the rear right here. All told, the curb weight is 3,360 pounds, 300 pounds lighter than the Porsche Turbo, 400 pounds lighter than the DB12, and over 2,000 pounds lighter than the Continental GT. Introduced on the 750S, the GTS has the fastest front lift system I've ever seen. All you do is click one button and it raises and lowers in as little as 4 seconds, making it super convenient driving around town. One of the GTS's greatest party tricks is its storage capacity. We've got 20 cubic feet of total storage. That's 7 more than a 911 Turbo and nearly triple that in the DB12. It also is made of a scratch-resistant material, so if you put your golf clubs or skis back here, you're not going to damage your expensive Mclaren. Also, how nice is this metallic logo just integrated into this section right here? Looks so high-end. Another one of my favorite parts of the Mclaren GTS is the electrochromic glass roof that changes opacities based on the settings. So if we click this button here, the sun shines fully through, and we have multiple stages to reduce the level of sun penetration, which you can optimize the cabin. I just think that's so cool, and it kind of reminds me of Bugatti's Skyview, only that costs a quarter as much as this entire car. Inside the GTS now, we have a gorgeous carbon fiber steering wheel with carbon fiber paddles mounted behind. In order to change the driving mode, we have the active panel right here to switch between comfort, sport, and track. In track mode, we have that gorgeous horizontal instrument cluster. Coming around to the multimedia system, we even have a multitude of different ambient light color options, which is so awesome in a Mclaren. And look at these gorgeous seats. All right, guys, behind the wheel of the Mclaren GTS, and this thing is an absolute beast. One of the biggest advantages it has compared to its competitors is that carbon fiber monocell, allowing it to have the best power to weight ratio in its class. And while it's incredibly comfortable around town and over long distance trips, it's so much more athletic than its competition. It's the canyons where it really shines, and it kind of, it's such a multifaceted car. It's truly, really impressive. So we have this lightweight aluminum double wishbone suspension with hydraulically controlled dampers that essentially scan the road ahead and react in as little as 2 milliseconds to absorb bumps, allowing you to have a super compliant car on the road over long distances. But then it also allows for a super engaging driving experience out in the canyons. When we get to the top of the hill here, we'll do a little launch control and then we'll put it into comfort mode. Let me listen to this exhaust for a second. It's so easy to drive fast. And so smooth too. It almost defies speed. And all of a sudden you realize you're going a lot faster than you thought you were because it just absorbs the outside world so well. The exhaust note sounds fantastic as well. It's got such a different character to it than something like a Mclaren 720S. It feels smoother, but then it's also got these awesome blow-off valve noises. It almost sounds like it's got a roof scoop. You don't get the pops and the cracks between shifts like you do in the LT cars, but the exhaust note is pretty awesome. So we've come to a straightaway right here. Super easy to activate launch control in this car. Just throw it into first gear. There's a launch button right here. Floor the brake and the accelerator, and off we go. Wow. 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds is very conservative. It's likely under 3, but the acceleration after 60 is where it is truly impressive. We've got an electronically assisted hydraulic steering rack that provides some of the best steering feel, if not the best steering feel in its class. The only car that comes close is the 911 Turbo. And then we've got a dual clutch gearbox that some of its competitors don't have either. All right, as fun as this thing is to drive in the canyons, and it is absolutely incredible, I do want to talk about how good it is as a daily driver. Oh, the turn-in is so sharp. Standard carbon ceramic brakes. It slows down so quickly. The visibility is fantastic, and it's very easy to drive. And it doesn't feel like a GT car when you're out in the canyons. You're kind of getting no drawbacks from the added level of practicality. It's not as raw as an LT car or as fast or intense as a 750S, but it's also more practical and quite a bit cheaper. All right, so let's flick it into comfort mode. Not only does the suspension and the steering soften up and the throttle response, we also have a quiet start, which is pretty cool. So if you activate comfort mode before you turn on the car, you can start it up in a quieter mode. That way you don't annoy your neighbors, and you can do so with an internal combustion engine and not having to have all the complex hybrid systems. Not like that's necessarily a problem, but one of the benefits of a hybrid is you can pull out of the neighborhood in full electric mode. But this, you don't even need that. The speaker system is good. I wouldn't say it's incredible, but for a small sports car, it's a difficult thing to have a lightweight speaker system that also creates a really, really nice tone, pitch, and bass inside of a small cabin, but it's about as good as it gets. And I love the fact that we have that gorgeous ambient lighting. Now we have 3 different interior options to choose from. We've got standard, then we've got a performance trim level that has kind of a mix of Alcantara and some sportier colors. And then we have Tech Luxe, which we have here, that gives you this beautiful soft touch leather everywhere, and it's offered in 4 different color schemes. Honestly, the seats kind of remind me of Ferrari seats. Something about the way the pattern is on the backs. They hold you in place nice. They're not super aggressive bucket seats, but they hold you in place in the canyons, and they are significantly more comfortable on the road. Now, I will say I'm not a huge fan of the seat controls. They're down to the right here, which is nice that they're not pinched up against the door on the left, but there's a lot of controls and you can't really see any of them from the driver's seat, so it takes a little bit to get used to. The multimedia system is super easy to use and intuitive. Touchscreen works very nice. 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster here that changes based on what driving mode you're in. Looks like there is a nice party going on here with a valet. That's fancy. Thanks for the invite. Oh wow, I've never seen so many cars parked out here. But man, this car is a downright blast, and it's a lot more fun than you think it would be. As kind of the entry-level McLaren, I feel like it hasn't gotten as much love as maybe it deserves, but the refreshed GTS, it looks more intense, it's got more power, it's down on weight, and I imagine lease deals on this are actually pretty darn good. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I'll let you listen to the GTS.